time to start the Bionicle reviews. I have plenty of Bionicle reviews to come, hopefully, and I want to start with this one because Bionicle did make a little bit of a comeback. In 2022, we got a Tahu reference in the 90 Years of Play set from LEGO, and in 2023, this month, we got a new Tahu and Takua system set as like a little tribute. So, go back and review some Bionicle because I think Bionicle's iconic. It's one of the best things ever happened to LEGO, definitely, in just, you know, the world of action figures in general. So, we're looking at Gali here. This is a random one I picked. Might as well start with her because, you know, ladies first. This is set number 8533, I believe, Gali, released in 2001. I don't know the piece count. I think it's somewhere in the 70 range. Maybe it's 74. I don't know. Anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and take a look at her overall shape. She's not too bad. It's the same. It's the standard build as the 2001 Toa. She's part of a, well, story-wise, she's part of a Toa team, the Toa Mata, the heroes of the island of Mount Nui, and her element is water. She's a Toa of water, as you can very clearly see by her color scheme, which we'll get to in a minute, and some of her, I guess, equipment. I guess we'll start with equipment. I guess let's do it, zoom in on the head sculpt, because I do that with all my action figures, usually the first thing I do. As you can see, it's a, her mask, the Kanoe Cow Cow, is supposed to be the mask of water breathing, and they really did make it look like a breathing apparatus, or like a little, like, I don't know, like air tubes or whatever. Kind of looks like a scuba gear or whatever. They really went out of the way to make it look like mechanical gear, which is really nice. And in case you didn't notice by looking at it, it is translucent. I'll go ahead and actually zoom out and I'll take a look at what the mask looks like without, well, it's not on her head, but yeah, this is just the normal mask. As you can see, yeah, it looks like scuba gear. It has like a little visor goggle effect going on in here. From the inside, it's the only mask that's translucent. It didn't need to be, but I think it kind of looks cool, you know, and even into the Toa Metro, Nokama did it like that. So I guess it's kind of a recurring theme that like the water characters or the water Toa get like translucent or like oddly colored masks. In case you didn't know, this is what they look like without the masks. All of them. Pretty awkward. I never understood why she has yellow eyes. I mean, obviously, like, they don't all have to match. Like, the eye color doesn't have to match the rest of the theme. Like, for example, Onua is black, but he has green eyes, and, like, whatnot. But, like, yellow? I never thought yellow would go that great. But, I mean, it kind of does. It doesn't break anything up too much. Go ahead and put her mask back on. It kind of taps right in. For those who don't know, the mask connects by a kind of like, not an axle, but like a little circular peg, and there is a peg shape right here, so that kind of, you know, just goes in. However, later Bionicle masks would use axle systems, and there is still room to put in an axle. And what's even cooler is that later heads, like the Toa Metro head, still had circular areas to put in peg masks, so that's pretty cool. Go ahead. Put that right there. Throw a breathing mask on. Alright, I guess I'll go over the overall look. Very mechanical. This was 2001. Technic wasn't new. Technic experience was like the 70s, but like construction, buildable action figures were kind of new at the time. They did it before Throwbots, so like, I think Slizers too. So like LEGO was trying to make a design where it's like, we'll take whatever random stuff we have and make it look like a humanoid-looking figure. So we got, you know, the pistons here. This whole big block is like a torso piece. You got your connector bits right here for the shoulders and the legs as well. And then you got these custom-made kind of leg pieces that can also be used as arms. They're kind of pre-bent in this position. And then you got these right here, which were connector pieces used before, but now they're kind of used as arms to connect the hooks. So it's all around pretty cool. You know, it's a lot of gears up in there, whatnot. There's a lot of kind of a complicated Technic build, or at least for the time. Now, by today's standards, it's pretty basic, but for the time, it was pretty innovative. Let's see what else is there. Let's go over articulation. Now, articulation is pretty poor. I'm not gonna lie. Legs, you get two. You get an ankle. Now it's all ball. Now it's mostly ball jointed, so you can do a lot with a ball joint. But you get ankle, and then that's it. There's no knees, and they can only move. Hold up. They can only move that far forward. That's about it. So leg, you're kind of stuck with not a whole lot. You can maybe get her running. Then again, she's gonna fall over. So you don't get arms. Arms swing up and down. That's part of a gimmick. But they also they swing here on this gear, but also on the kind of the ball jointed shoulder. So you know, like that. There's no elbows and no. She doesn't have any hands anyway. She just has like these little nub pegs that peg into the hook. So you can't like turn that or anything. And then there's no head articulation. The head is completely immobile. Well, not entirely. There is a cheat I'll go over in a minute, but. Yeah. So articulation is very limited. It's very primitive. Not a whole lot. But for the time being, it was pretty. This was pretty innovative. We hadn't seen anything like this in Lego. We saw Throbots, but Throbots wasn't really as exciting. Didn't have like it wasn't as compelling as Bionicle was. Let's see. I guess I'll go over some differences or some unique points. Some things that separate her from the other Toa Mata. For example, some of her design, or I'll go over her design. She's blue, so she's the only blue one. That represents her element, water. But also, she has a lot of kind of strange decisions in her construction. Like, for example, I don't know why there's just a connector piece right here. Like, you can take it out and maybe take the axle out too. I mean, she looks kind of. She is like incomplete without it because we're so used to it there. You could put a ball there, but no, they decided to put a random connector piece for no reason right there. I'm not sure what it does, but it except for leave an exposed socket, which looks a little awkward. But hey, what are you gonna do? You can maybe mock it or something. I don't know. Another thing is that she has these random. Move her arm out of the way. Random pins. If I can zoom in on it. Yeah, these random pins out. They don't connect to anything. They just exist there for. Actually, you know what? I think I know what they were doing. You see, Gali is the only female one, so they wanted to make her look feminine by giving her. By kind of like thickening this out to give her hips. And like. Giving her a more broad chest, giving her, I guess, breasts or something? I don't know. They wanted to make her look feminine because you can't really tell just by looking at it normally. They wanted to get across that, yeah, she is the female one, so they kind of give her, you know, hips and a more, I don't know. It was really their weird attempt. It was weird back in the day. I think they're a lot better at it now, but yeah, another thing that separates them are her weapons. She has these little... Come out here. These little hook pieces. Now, I don't think those are new to her at the time. I don't know what she does with them. I mean, she's water. She doesn't really swim with them. I mean, she can, but really, her animations will show her climbing like a mountain or like a cliff with these. And I guess to go over the main gear function. The gear function being right here, what sold Bionicle back in the day. See, the arms are connected through axles here that connect to the gears that connect to the central one. Now, it works on both arms. If you turn this gear back here, get our arms separated, get saturated, they swing back and forth. Just like that. That is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I can probably do that for hours. Now, there's a flaw with it, of course. That flaw being that it will flop around a bit, especially if you have one that only. Now with Gali, they both kind of work, but if you want to have like a dynamic pose, they will flip about. So there is a cheat for it. You can do this on your own, but you take these two pieces, take an axle, I guess how do you describe it? A 3-inch long axle, and then a Lego gear. Put it like that, and then stick it in that axle port there. That will line up with the bigger gear and lock it into place. Now you can have her raise her arms like that, and they will not flop. Isn't that pretty cool? That's about it for Gali. I'm trying to think what else there is. Oh yeah, I was gonna go over the cheat with the head gimmick. I'll go ahead and take this out because it's not part of the set. Wow, that's really tight in there. That is so tight in there. Anyway, as I was saying, for the head, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the mask, make it easier. But like, what you can do is, because the head does not turn, it does connect on an axle, so you can take out that axle, or take off the head, and just turn around. So now she's facing this way. Just go ahead and put her mask back on. Now, granted, this will work sometimes because the mask will be pretty bulky and want to get in the way, but that you can do that for photography. Or, let's say you have Lewa, and you want to have him flying through the air, or have her swimming in the water. You can, actually I'll go and put the mask on for this one, but what you can do is connect it right here, so she's looking up, and now she's swimming. So that's a thing you can do to make it look a little more interesting and compensate for the fact that you cannot actually turn the head. But anyway, that is about it for Gali. I think she's a good set. Now granted, she's part of a team. The thing about Bionicle is, with a lot of Bionicle sets, they're part of like a team. So if you have one, you kind of have to have them all to complete the look. But if you are a completionist, you're going to get around. But even if you're not a completionist and you just want one Toa Mata just to see how they were at the time, then yeah, Gali's a good one to get. I wouldn't, if you're only going to own one, I might own like Tahu because he's iconic, or maybe even like, excuse me, like maybe Kopaka or something. But like, yeah, Gali was, she's perfect for the time, and she's, even if not all of the Toa Mata build is aged great, it is definitely iconic, and I think she makes a great display piece. I think she's very fun. Like the gear gimmick is just so much fun. I think the build is definitely unique. There are things about her that make her unique, even from the other Toa Mata. So definitely check her out. Get her if you can. Your Bionicle collection would not be complete without her.